here, Flash.
It has got to be how tanky the front line is for the side of Queso. Churnwalker, Cruel, Alpha, so hard for Wolves to have to get through. And then if they do manage to get to the backline to the Celeste, you have that Lorelei to drop the water wall on her, keep her alive. It's going to be really hard for Wolves to have to try and deal with.
Yeah, in 3.2, Lorelei has actually been outstanding thus far, one of the breakout heroes of this update. But for the side of Wolves, the advantage they will have is that Scarf Samuel massive range. But don't know if there's going to be a lot of concern because Palmatoro, as you're about to find out, had a lot of confidence.
Yo, it's Palmatoro here, top laner for Team Queso. This weekend we're going up against Wolf Esports and Salty Potatoes. And for me and Techno actually, we're going up against our former coach Kgaza, which is always fun. We expect nothing else than 2 clean wins this weekend and to hopefully close out the EU VPL preseason as the #1 team.
Obviously, Queso expecting to continue their recent trend of victories, but on the other side from Wolves, Paprika is not intimidated.
And this Team Queso is what we're going to do to you. That's some good cheese.
Paprika obviously feeling pretty confident going into their matchup, and you see Kgaza as well saying, Wolves need meat. Why are we being served cheese? I guess they're gonna go on a diet just for today. Obviously, a little bit of trash talk going back and forth there. Wolves, nothing really to lose going to this one. They have struggled thus far in the preseason, but if you can pick up a win in the final week against the top team in the league, that is huge momentum going into the regular season.
Awesome confidence, awesome video. A huge opportunity for Wolves for sure. They can have a lot of fun with it. They can bring out some new strategies, but this is the last opportunity for them to try and gain some momentum before we head into the regular season.
Yeah, and obviously, this matchup definitely going to be favoring Team Queso. You see the stats comparison, every single stat favoring Team Queso. You do see one game less played. That is because Queso has a forfeit victory over the course of the preseason, but every single stat you see is pretty heavily in favor of Team Queso, and it's kind of is to be expected when you have the inverse records there.
Absolutely. It's going to be very fun. We're jumping on to the Sovereign's Rise. Dowsey and Stress, take it away.
We'll have to see if Paprika can get his meal of cheese here. Stress. Wolves currently sitting at the bottom of the standings up against Queso, the #1 team here in the EU. Their last chance to try and get some points on the board here in the last week of the EU VPL Preseason Invitational.
And then you look up at the other side of this matchup, right? It's another opportunity for Queso to show.
Look at the top lane.
Yeah.
Hundor going low. Will Hundor go down? No, he won't. Oh, wow. That's some major pressure coming out of Wolves.
Yeah, I was focused on the mid lane at that point, but yeah, looking up at the top lane, that little trade sends Hundor back. So what I was going to say was shows that Queso, they have another opportunity to prove how consistent they can be, how solid. You don't really want to lose to a team at the bottom of the table. You'd rather take that top spot and then put the pressure on Clash to be able to tie them up later in the day.
Absolutely. Well, it is going to be Tyra's now caught out here, and he's not going to get to his turret, it doesn't seem. Will he be taken down in his reboot protocol? Does get the reboot off, but it's going to be First Blood coming over to Wolves. They've done their homework here, Stress.
That was close. That was very, very close on that Alpha, but Tyra's, as you said, not able to get to the tower. The turret, that is the biggest factor on that defensive play. So we were just talking a little bit about that, being solid, playing in a way that you're not giving too much up. So already good moves out of Wolves to try and punish a little bit of that. Haven't seen too much from the rest of the map yet. We're only 2 minutes in, but look at this Kgaza versus Palmatoro down in that bottom lane. Kgaza on the Samuel up against the lane Lorelei. I really want to see how Palmatoro actually can have the impact on this Lorelei now, because we haven't really seen the strength come from Lorelei as a captain. I want to see whether there's going to be as much roaming after being in lane. There's much more offensive itemization being picked up here as well. This looks to be going more of that damage route rather than just captain roaming around.
Yeah, expect that alternating current to come out, and then maybe we go towards that kind of utility Lorelei that we saw so heavily favored by the Koreans at Worlds. Just getting that aftershock and potentially a clockwork, so you just provide lots of utility and a lot of damage as well. Be really interesting to see how this one plays out. I know Leon has been saying for quite some time that he thinks Lorelei is underrated in the lane and that more teams should be considering her. Bit of a skirmish in this mid lane. Biggie going very low. It's going to be Hunter stunned up here. Just the Hegman show on this Churnwalker, pulling everyone around.
Yeah, got both members of Wolves in that middle lane pulled back in and puts them in a lot of trouble there. So you can see now Techno JJ is going to be able to kind of take over the lane with Hegman. That's so much respect that I am Biggie and Hunter have to really pay now, because you're basically one hook away from a setup and then Techno JJ can get the kill. But I like what they're doing here. Instead of greeding for the kill, move in through the top side jungle, look to try and catch out Paprika, or at least get a little bit of vision control with those scout cams down, and just take control of every part of the map away from Wolves, at least on the top side. Bottom side is going heavily in favor of Wolves.
Yeah, Kikaza's doing a pretty decent job making sure that he's able to control the lane, and you see him actually roaming up to the mid side here to provide the support whilst Biggie is back at the Sanctuary. I'm going to clear this wave up, but Hunter, hard commit. Will he be able to escape is the question. He's in a bit of trouble. Will find his death as Aceroid and Kigaza are looking to try and take this Crystal Treant for themselves. They are going to be able to secure it, but now Hegman's got them in the clutches, and here comes Palmatoro looking for that route onto Aceroid. Doesn't hit it. Aceroid running Kigaza though. He's dead. All right, kill over to Techno JJ there. The collapse from Wolves not successful.
Yeah, that Wolves play looked a little bit disjointed. I think maybe communication issues between the team, because Adagio was basically starting the Crystal Train right as the rest of the team were trying to go in the mid lane. Like, that would have been the 3 versus 2 play if they had gone together, but on a different page, didn't really get what they wanted and ended up losing a whole lot more than they were going to gain even from that play themselves.
Now it looks like Team Queso going to brute force their way into this Crystal Treant here. Hunter RX taking some unnecessary damage from the Churnwalker tick. It is going to be, of course, Techno JJ taking that orb away for himself. Kigaza roaming up from the bottom side of the map. Does get caught in a core collapse. Tyrus dives in. That's a lot of damage. 1 kill over to Tyrus. Looking for a second. It is going to be Hunter XX falling. Biggie so low as well. Wolves just not able to keep Queso out of their jungle.
And it's Queso's prerogative, right? You get the play along the mid lane, you move into the enemy jungle. We know they've been playing topside because those scout cams. Biggie is in a lot of trouble, will end up falling. We know they've been playing topside because of the scout cams. They have the vision control. That's where they're going next. And now they're going to try and reap the benefits from it by pushing mid as well.
Last week we saw Hundor play a fantastic weapon power Samuel. This week we do see Kigaza attempting to do the same thing here in lane. Doesn't seem to be working so far. Hundor gets a kill for himself on the top side, a dive onto Paprika. Basically, Queso saying, you want cheese, here's cheese, we'll give it to you. And at this point, Wolves, very good early start, but that's something that they've always done well, is their early game rotation stress. It's when this mid game starts coming around the corner is where they start losing their cool. Kigaza getting hooked up here. This might be trouble. Do they want the fight? Hegman's coming in. JJ trying to get in position. That's going to be Kaza locked up. Good Oblivion. The block does come through. Techno JJ, he's actually gone to 4. Wolves have collapsed on top of Queso. And now they're looking for some kills here. A double comes through for Aceroid. Hegman, last man standing, will fall down. A 5-man collapse finds 3 kills and a Ghost Wing to be taken.
Yeah, good setup from Wolves down by this Ghost Wing pick to actually collapse. This goes back to something we talked about all the way back in week 2, Dowsy. Is like, hey, you're getting this tower push topside. You're making the play top. That means don't make the play bottom side if you don't have vision control of everyone. Hundor and Tyra is doing a great job top to push 2 towers down. It's a little easier because of the trade on the bottom side. But look, they gave away a bunch of kills. They give away a Ghost Swing. And that could very well give the opportunity over to Wolves to come back into this game. We know how strong these turret pushes can be with the Ghost Swing buff. And now they want to go on this Lorelei.
Yeah, it makes sense. Push down this bot turret. Here comes Aceroid from behind. Will they go for this kill? They've got the pincer. They're not committing as a team. Aceroid's going in alone. He should be able to get the kill. Seems like he will be able to. There we go. One more auto attack. One more auto attack. One more auto attack. Can he get it? Yes, he will be able to. There's the kill coming through. They lose a mid turret in the process. Biggie not able to keep that one alive. At that point, 3 turrets for Queso in return for just a 1 in the bot lane. You have to think that Queso came out on top.
Yeah, for now at least there is a third of this buff left from the Ghost Wing. They could potentially 5-man push mid. There is still an engage happening in the bottom lane as well. There's a little time left for Wolves to get more from this, but certainly it's been a little bit more in Queso's favor than they would have liked.
Big collapse in this mid lane. A stun comes through onto Hunter X. The Oblivion from Kigaz is not going to have any impact. And look at Hundor going through. Solar Storm will take Kigaz's life there. Another kill comes through for Tyras in that bot side. The push just overextended from Wolves. At this point, there's a 5,000 gold lead thereabouts, 4,000 for Team Queso, and they're not relenting any pressure.
No, at this point, the back half of that sequence, I was saying there might have been the opportunity for Wolves, but they remain split. Queso come back fresh from their own base after shopping and are able to just pick up a bunch of kills on the back end of it. Now they want more from Hunter.
Yeah, there's no way he gets out of this one alive. But the question is, what does Paprika do? Has a turret to fall behind. There's that Storm Shield, but he's getting pulled back in. That's going to be another kill going over to the side of Queso. Biggie, Aceroid, and Kigaz are trying to keep this weapon tree on their side, but maybe they've just committed too hard. It is going to be Kigaz stuck between a rock and a hard place. He has to turn on to Techno JJ here. Weapon Power Samuel, can he find the damage? No, he can't. A complete massacre in the jungle of Wolves here. Aceroid trying to find one for himself, but he can't even do that. A double kill for Techno JJ. Hegman keeping Techno alive. And at this point, Queso are just taking what they want.
Yeah, the snowball has completely formed now. Gone is the ability in those segmented fights for Wolves to turn this back around. Now Queso just outputting a lot of damage. We're going to see this Lorelei. I don't even think she's really going to get to the point of the game, which I want to talk about, whereas the late game, Lorelei, you just get a bunch of extra CP from your abilities and you end up hitting people really hard. We might get there, but Queso probably looking to shut this game out before that even is a possibility. Ghostwing is coming up. They are grouped. There's a Catherine up on the top side. That's quite an integral part of this composition for Wolves. And the desk already talked about how difficult this Queso lineup is to kill, how tanky they are, and that is coming into full effect. The experience is in their favor as well, and Wolves, they look like they might be caught out here.
Oh, look, the Hegman just comes through. A Solar Storm rips through as well. Oblivion doesn't find Daddy One, and Wolves are trying to run, but Hegman, a 4-man stun on that Churnwalker, showing up huge. That's going to be Biggie going down. It's going to be 2 kills already to Queso. It is just them taking everything that they want here. Trying to escape is Hunter, is Aceroid, but Hunter cannot. Palmatoro is committing. Can Palmatoro find the kill?
He knows he's got
I think it's just a matter of time. Aceroid maybe pops that that ultimate, gets himself some fortified health, goes back in. What is it going to be? Aceroid, no, just to his death he goes. Churnwalker and the Krang will take down this turret here. They get a Ghost Wing as well to try and get that turret falling in the bot side. Does look like it will be defended, but at this point, Wolves cannot find a team fight.
18 kills to 5. Wolves have got the proverbial scraps, but that's about it from the table. The cheese certainly is not enough to sate that hunger at this point. Like, Wolves, they're 1-7. They're bottom of the table. They have had a few good performances that we've seen, but when you look at them up against a team like Queso have done so well consistently, and that really has been their mark for why they're a top-tier team. Wolves are going to try one more fight.
Yeah, they are trying one more fight. Biggie, though, left all by himself, will fall, and this is just a massacre once more as Wolves are split between everywhere. Double kill comes through, a triple for Tyra's ridiculous play. Only Aceroid left alive, and with Palmatoro pushing the top side, the rest of Queso in the mid lane, this is going to be some armories destroyed.
Yeah, it's likely to be the 2 armories coming from this. And so what this win basically does is puts Clash in a position where they can tie up against Queso, but can't assume full control of the leaderboard at the end of the preseason. Here they go again.
You guys are going to go down to Tyras. Everyone's going down to Tyras here as this Vein Crystal is the target. Once they get their kills, once they pad their stats, take down Hunter. Biggie and Paprika, last man standing. I don't think they're going to go in at all. They might just do what they can to try and show that they're trying to stop this Vein Crystal fall. But at the end of the day, it is going to be Team Queso taking the W. And actually, that is a very close performance to their first game against Wolves in Week 3. They pretty much matched the time here, Stress. They pretty much matched the kills and everything. Queso, so consistent here in Europe.
Yeah, looking really strong. Techno JJ, a great game. Honestly, the entire roster looking very, very solid. Definitely deserve being towards that top of the table.
Well, Queso once more, a very dominating performance as expected. Let's see what FlashX and Bacon have to say about that win.
Well, as Delzy mentioned, as expected, I think, for